Hi boys and girls, welcome to the third PowerPoint presentation of Chapter 4 called An Epic Journey about paragraph 4.3 titled What About Fossils? Here you can find the keywords for this paragraph. On the left, the English keywords fossil, paleontologist and index fossil, and on the right the Dutch translations fossiel, paleontoloog and gidsfossiel. The learning objectives for this paragraph are that you can describe what a fossil is and that you can describe how fossils are formed. And in this PowerPoint presentation I will talk you through these two learning objectives. Now, fossils are dead animals, plants or fungi, or parts of those dead animals, plants or fungi that have turned into stone. And we have another word for it, to be turned into stone, because to turn into stone is also to petrify. So the definition of a fossil is that fossils are the petrified remains of an organism. Now, fossils are rare because not every organism that dies turns into a fossil. A lot of animals are completely eaten or they will rot away because of activity of bacteria or fungi or other animals or whatever. But some animals or plants or fungi or bacteria, they will fossilize, they will be turned into stone. Now imagine this fish, it's a salmon, and salmons, they return to their birth stream to spawn, to mate and to spawn. To spawn means to lay eggs. So the males, they swim back to their birth stream to fertilize the eggs that the females lay, and the females, they return to their birth stream to lay eggs. Now after spawning, these fish, they die and they sink to the bottom of the sea or to the bottom of the river, and they will be eaten by scavengers, other fish, other animals, and by bacteria and fungi. So this is a dead fish that has sunken to the bottom of the river or the sea. And after several weeks, the soft body parts will have decayed. And some parts have been eaten away by scavengers. And then it will be, at a certain moment, it will be covered by sand and mud. And then it will be protected from further decay and other events. And the buried fish eventually loses all its flesh, and the only things that are left are its hard parts, like the skeleton. And over a long period of time, the fish becomes covered by many more layers of sand and mud. And eventually, the bones will decay as well. And the space that once contained the bones is filled by mineral deposits from mineral containing water that seeps in. And the minerals form a stone cast of the bones that once were there. So there are no bones anymore, but the bones have been turned into stone. The bones have gone and stone came in their place. Now the earth is always moving, the earth's crust is always moving. After many years, the fossilized fish will appear above sea level because of the lifting of the earth's layers. And when it's above sea level, wind and water can make sure that part of the rock will be blown away, which we call erosion. And this leaves the skull of the fish exposed. This means that you can find it. And paleontologists are scientists that study fossils. So a paleontologist will carefully remove the surrounding and try to excavate the fossil. And then he can study it. And what it looks like then is like this. So this is an actual picture of the head of a fish, and here you can see the head. And here you can see a little part of the fin that's left, and probably the rest of the fish parts are somewhere in this stone. Maybe. They can also have been eroded away. But this can be studied by paleontologists to describe the history of life on Earth. Now, sometimes a certain type of fossil is only present in certain layers of the soil, and it is present in great abundance, which means in very large numbers. And a paleontologist uses this kind of fossil to determine how old a certain layer is. And these fossils are called index fossil, because they give an indexation of the age of the layers of soil. And that's it for this paragraph.